Good morning, dear students. Hope all of you are fine. Right? Okay. In our previous class, we are discussing about defects, right? Or imperfections. So I already told you that there are two types of imperfections. Those are line defects and point defects. Line defects and point defects. Point defects are again classified into stoichiometric defects and non-stoichiometric defects and non-stoichiometric defects. Stoichiometric defects are again classified into vacancy defect and interstitial defect. Example for vacancy defect is Scotty defect, and example for interstitial defect is Frankel defect. This is what we had discussed in our previous class. In today's class, let's discuss detailing about non-stoichiometric defects. So we had discussed about imperfections. Imperfections means what? So there is an orderly arrangement in solids. If there is any disturbance or any dislocation in that orderly arrangement of particles in solids is said to be imperfections or defects. There are mainly two kinds of defects, that is line defects and point defects. Line defects means what happens? The orderly arrangement of particles disturbs in throughout line, that is throughout row or throughout column. Okay. Next. So what is point defect? So if there is any dislocation happens only at any particular point of solid, then it is said to be point defect. I had discussed it clearly in our previous class. So vacancy and interstitial defect. So everything is I discussed in last class. Please refer last class, and then now I will continue what are non-stoichiometric defects. Non-stoichiometric defects. So the name itself indicates here the stoichiometry will affect. That means there is no maintenance of stoichiometry here. That means there will be change in ratio of particles present in the crystal. Okay. For example, coming to the classroom, if two boys, there are 20 girls and 20 boys in a class. That means they are stoichiometrically balanced. The classroom is stoichiometrically balanced. That means number of boys is equals to number of girls. If 3 boys did homework, teacher asked them to go out, okay. And only one girl did the homework, and teacher asked her to go out. So how many boys are missing from the class? 3 boys. How many girls are missing from class? 1 girl. So that means what happened to the stoichiometry of class? Here stoichiometry of class is not maintained. That means the balance is not maintained, right? So that is said to be non-stoichiometry. That is said to be what? Non-stoichiometry. Coming to the crystal here. Now we are not discussing about classes, right? We are discussing about the crystals here. So in crystal there are some, let it be, there are some x number of particles and there will be some y number of particles. A crystal is formed by x type of particles as well as y number of particles. If x number of particles missed out from crystal is not equal to y number of particles missed out from crystal, then they are said to be non-stoichiometry. That means the missing is not uniform. The missing is not uniform or not in stoichiometric ratio or not in stoichiometric ratio. Such type of defects which are caused non-stoichiometrically, that means the crystal remains non-stoichiometrically, is said to be non-stoichiometric defects. In this non-stoichiometric defects, especially we are going to discuss mainly three types of defects. How many non-stoichiometric defects are there? There are mainly three types of non-stoichiometric defects. Let's see what are those. Okay. So they are, first one, metal excess defect. They are metal excess defect. Next is metal deficiency. Metal deficiency defect. Metal excess defect, metal deficiency defect, and the third one is impurity defect. So let's discuss these three types of defects one by one in detail. Okay, all the three are what type of defects? All the three types of defects are non-stoichiometric defects. That means there is no balance in missing of the particles, missing of the type of particles. So that means stoichiometry is not maintained in this defect. Stoichiometry is not maintained in this defect. So how many kinds of non-stoichiometric defects are there? Three types of non-stoichiometric defects are there. Metal excess, metal deficiency, and impurity defect. Let's discuss one by one in detail. Okay, I'll start with metal excess defect. Metal excess defect can be formed by two ways. Metal excess defect can be formed by two ways. One is due to presence of an ionic vacancy in crystal. Due to presence of an ionic vacancy in the crystal. Next, it is also formed due to presence of extra cation due to presence of extra cation in interstitial spaces. In interstitial spaces of crystal. Let us consider how metal excess defect is caused due to presence of anionic vacancy. So let us discuss metal excess deficiency. So here the name itself indicates. So here, for suppose a crystal is formed by a metallic ion and a non-metallic ion. If metallic ion is present in excess, okay, if metallic ion is present in excess when compared to non-metal, then it is said to be metal excess defect. The name itself indicates in a crystal, when compared to non-metal, the metal ions will be more. Are you following what I am saying here? Yes, the metal ions will be more. Let's see, let's discuss. You will understand more clearly if I discuss. See here, due to presence of anionic vacancy in the crystal. How metal excess deficiency is caused due to presence of anionic vacancy. So let us take an example of NaCl crystal. Okay. Let us suppose this will be NaCl crystal which contains Na plus and Cl minus. Na plus and Cl minus. So, an NaCl crystal contains Na plus and Cl minus ions like this. Okay. Here, Na plus is said to be electropositive, is said to be what? Metal, and this is said to be non-metal. Chloride is said to be non-metal and sodium is said to be metal. Why? Because it is formed by losing electron. It is formed by gaining electron. Is it correct or not? Now, if you take NaCl crystal and heat it in the atmosphere of sodium vapors, okay, in the atmosphere of sodium vapors, take some NaCl crystal and in presence of sodium vapors, if you heat it, what happens? The sodium will lose electron and forms Na plus. And forms Na plus. That means I am taking the sodium chloride crystal and I am heating it in a sodium atmosphere, sodium vapor atmosphere. So what happens whenever it is heated? What happens? The sodium loses electron and forms Na plus. Now what happens? The chloride ion present inside the crystal will attract towards this Na plus. Okay. Are you following what I am saying here? So, the sodium ion formed around the surroundings of crystal attracts the chloride ions present in the crystal, and this chloride ion diffuses into the atmosphere, and forms Na plus Cl minus gives rise to sodium chloride, making vacancy, creating vacancy inside the crystal, What kind of vacancy it is? Anionic vacancy. Why? Because Cl minus. We all know that negative ions are called as anions. Here, negative ion is become vacant. Is it correct or not? So, as negative ion is become vacant, this is said to be anionic vacancy. Now you count number of sodium ions in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? Now count number of chloride ions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So sodium ions are 6 and chloride ions are 5. What happened to one chloride ion? It gets diffused into sodium vapor, it gets diffused into sodium atmosphere, and it is combined with the Na plus ions on the surroundings, making vacancy inside the crystal. Here, Na plus is excess or Cl minus is excess? Na plus is excess. Therefore, it is said to be metal excess defect. Caused due to anionic vacancy. anionic vacancy. Understood? So once again I'll repeat, if you want to note it, whenever sodium chloride crystal is heated in the presence of sodium vapors, then what happens? The sodium ions present at the surroundings of crystal attracts the chloride ions present inside the crystal. These chloride ions diffuses outside and combines with the Na+ which are present around the crystal and creating anionic vacancies inside the crystal. So this is said to be metal excess defect due to anionic vacancy. Understood? Yes. Now I would like to discuss an important point. This empty space, which is called as anionic vacancy, is occupied by the electrons left by the sodium. Understood? So whenever the sodium is converted into sodium ion, the electron is released, right? These electrons will get and occupies the spaces, the empty spaces, the empty anionic spaces inside the crystal, which are called as F centers. Which are called as F center. Very, very important. So many times they ask what are F centers. For 1 mark or 2 marks they may ask. You have to remember what is F center. F centers are the centers which is formed during metal excess imperfections. So here in metal excess deficiency, whenever the anionic vacancies are occupied by electrons, whenever the anionic vacancies are occupied by electrons, then those centers are said to be F centers. What do you mean by F, sir? Why it is called as F? Why can't it be E center? Why can't it be A center? You may get doubt, right? Yes, there is a reason why it is called as F center. F means Farbengenter. What is F means? F means Farbengenter. In Greek language, Farbengenter means color. Okay? In Greek language, Farbengenter means what? Color. Why? Because due to the presence of F centers, the sodium chloride will get yellow color. The sodium chloride will get yellow color. As F centers, as these centers giving color to the crystal, these are said to be F centers. F centers means Farbengenter centers. Farbengenter means nothing but color centers which impact color to the NaCl. Sir, why does the color gets? Sir, why does the how the electron gives colors to the crystal? So whenever this electron absorbs energy, it gets excited. During its excitation, it absorbs yellow color and emits yellow color from the sunlight. So from the light, not only from sunlight, maybe from light. So that is why the crystal will get yellow color. Okay? Did you understand what is F center? I'll repeat once again. F centers are the centers formed in metal excess defect, which is due to occupying the anionic vacancies by electrons. These electrons are absorbing energy and emit specific color to the crystals, and which gives colors to the crystal. Therefore, they are said to be F centers. Example, in NaCl, F centers are responsible for the yellow color of the sodium chloride crystal. Similarly, I'll write here, excess lithium in lithium chloride gives pink color. This is also due to presence of F centers. So here excess sodium when compared to chlorine, what is more here? Sodium is more. Excess sodium gives yellow color to the crystal due to presence of F center, right? Here also, excess lithium in lithium chloride gives pink color to the lithium. Gives pink color to the lithium, right? So in the same way, for KCl, potassium chloride, excess potassium will give violet color to the crystal. Violet color to the crystal. Violet color to the crystal. This is what you have to remember regarding the metal excess defect due to anionic vacancy. Understood? Is all the points clear? Yes. I am moving to the next topic, that is metal excess defect due to presence of extra cation in interstitial spaces of the crystal. Okay, let's discuss. I hope you understand, right? If you want to note anything, you can note, right? So I prepared notes. I'll scan and send you the notes. You can check each and every point in notes. Okay, you don't worry about these things. I'll scan notes and I'll send it to you, right? So you can go through the notes. Yes. Now I would like to discuss metal excess defect due to presence of extra cations. In interstitial spaces of the crystal. Okay. See here. I'll take the example of zinc oxide. Okay. So whenever zinc oxide is heated, it is a reversible reaction. Whenever a zinc oxide is heated, oxygen escapes from the zinc oxide by the formation of zinc ions. So here what happens, whenever zinc oxide is heated in presence of zinc vapors, what happens? The oxygen escapes out from the crystal, and the zinc, and the excess zinc which is present in the crystal occupies the interstitial spaces. It is like this. See. So Zn2 plus O2 minus, Zn2 plus O2 minus, O2 minus, Zn2 plus O2 minus. See, in zinc oxide, the crystal will be like this, zinc and oxygen. Whenever this is heated in presence of zinc vapors, what happens? The excess zinc will occupy the interstitial spaces like this. Okay, the electrons and the zinc ions will occupy the interstitial spaces. Here what is happening, you can check. Here, what is excess? O minus is excess or Zn plus is excess? Obviously, here O minus and Zn plus is same, the ratio will be same. But what happened to one Zn plus? What Zn plus is in between the interstitial spaces, it will be excess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Zn plus. In this crystal now, how many Zn plus? 7 Zn plus. How many O2 minus? Only 6 O2 minus. So, is there any anionic vacancy happened here? No. No anionic vacancy is happened. But it is said to be metal excess. Why? 7 Zn plus and 6 O2 minus. Then how this metal excess is happened? Due to presence of excess metal ions in between the interstitial spaces. In between the interstitial spaces. This type of defect is said to be metal excess defect due to presence of extra cation in the interstitial spaces of the crystal. Did you understand? Yes, there is not much to discuss about this thing. That's it. If you take zinc oxide, it will be ZnO2 like this. If this is heated in presence of zinc vapors, what happens? The zinc releases electrons and forms Zn2 plus ions. So these Zn2 plus ions occupies the interstitial spaces of the crystal, resulting in formation of the metal excess defect. Got it right? Yes, that's all about the metal excess defect. Now I am moving to the next defect, that is metal deficiency defect. In non-stoichiometric defects, this is second type. Non-stoichiometric defects, first one is metal excess and the second one is metal deficiency. Metal deficiency defect. Metal deficiency defect. Are you following? Yes. The name itself indicates the metal will get decrease in the crystal. The metal will get decrease in the crystal. There will be decrease in the number of metal ions. There will be decrease in the number of metal ions. Why this happens? This happens mainly the crystals which contain metal ions having variable oxidation states. Okay. So why this happens? If crystals have metal ions with variable oxidation states. For example, you take the example of FeO, ferrous oxide. Ferrous oxide. Okay, the crystal will be like this. Okay, the crystal is like this FeO. Actually, ferrous Fe plus 2. So whenever it is exposed to atmosphere, after some time or after some days, ferrous will convert into ferric. Ferrous will convert into ferric due to reaction with atmosphere. So that everybody knows, right? Ferrous will convert into ferric. That means Fe plus 2 gets converted into Fe plus 3 due to some atmospheric changes or some temperature changes. Okay. So whenever one Fe2 plus gets converted into Fe3 plus, what happens? If 2 Fe2 plus gets converted into 2 Fe3 plus, then how many Fe2 plus? if we want to form 2 Fe3 plus, we should convert 3 Fe2 plus. Is it correct? Why? Because here the valency is plus 2, here the valency is plus 3. 3 2s are 6, 2 3s are 6. To balance this, we have to convert 3 Fe2 plus into 2 Fe3 plus. Therefore, see here, if this is converted into Fe3 plus and this is also gets converted into Fe3 plus, then what happens? Automatically 1 Fe2 plus will reduce in the crystal. Is it correct? Why? Because 3 Fe2 plus will form 2 Fe3 plus. Is it correct? Here at first Fe2 plus and O2 minus, it is balanced. 2 minus 2 plus. Now what happened? 3 plus 2 minus. To balance this, we have to convert 3 Fe2 plus into 2 Fe3 plus. So that means here metal gets deficient. Metal gets deficient. Now you count metal ions and non-metal ions in this. Metal ions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Non-metal ions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 O2 minus and 5 Fe. So then which one will be more? Oxygen will be more and iron will be less. So that means the metal gets deficient in the crystal. The metal gets deficient in the crystal. The metal is less in the crystal. Therefore, it is said to be metal deficiency defect. It is said to be metal deficiency defect. Actually, the formula of ferrous oxide is expected to FeO, but the formula varies from Fe 0.93O to Fe 0.96O. This deficiency is due to this thing. Understood? Hope you understand, right? So this is metal deficiency defect. Please make a note of it. Please make a note of it. And last and finally, we are going to discuss the impurity defect. A non-stoichiometric defect, we are going to discuss the last type of defect, that is impurity defect. The name itself indicates when impurities are added to crystal, this defect is taking place due to adding impurities to the crystal. For example, take molten NaCl. Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus, Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus, Na plus Cl minus, Na plus Cl minus. This is molten NaCl crystal, molten NaCl. To this I am adding strontium chloride. It is called as impurity, or you can also call it as dopant. It is also called as dopant. If you add this impurity, this strontium chloride gets converted into strontium ions plus chloride ions. Now this strontium enters into the crystal and replaces sodium. But to replace sodium, one strontium can replace how many sodium atoms? two sodium atoms, right? Why? Because it is plus 2. Sodium is only plus 1. Therefore, one strontium can replace two sodium atoms, creating the defect, which is called as impurity defect. Impurity defect. Why it is happened? By adding impurity, right? So by this we finished the topic imperfections. By this we finished the topic imperfections in solids. So totally how many imperfections? So totally 2 types, line and point. So point how many types? 2 types, vacancy and interstitial. So vacancy example Scotty, interstitial example Frankel. Next, coming to non-stoichiometric defects. So non-stoichiometric defects we are mainly discussed 3 types. I'll write the scheme here. Scheme of non-stoichiometric defects. You can note it. Non-stoichiometric defects are broadly classified into 3 types. They are metal excess, next is metal deficiency, and the third one is impurity. Okay, metal excess is again of 2 types. Anionic vacancy caused by anionic vacancy. In this mainly you should remember F center, and another one is presence of metal ions, in between interstitial spaces. Okay, so this is what we have discussed in our today's class. I will stop here, continue in next class. Thank you, see you in next class.